broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Y'all ready for this?
I love this song. I know everyone thinks it's Space Jam.
Well, I mean, Space Jam 2 just got, you know,
yes, it
Greenlight,
did.
yeah,
Super excited.
a delayed celebration, I guess.
I love it. The athletic songs.
Yay!
Anyway, hello, Robots in Disguise fans, and welcome to another episode of the Transformers Robots in Disguise AfterBuzz TV After Show. Today we are talking about episode 19, The Champ.
Woohoo!
And with me on the panel today is Alexis the Wrecker Torres. Welcome back.
I'm so happy to be back, and you can find me all over social media as atorres890.
Megan Lord Megantron Salinas.
Hey guys, you can tweet at me at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin.
And I am Katie Kia Prime Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. You can also use our hashtag. That's ABTVRID. Tweet us questions, funny things you like, all that fun stuff, and you will get a shout out on the show. Alexis is checking the live chat for us. Emma the Speedster 5 is off on a cross-country road trip trying to break some land speed records. And Michelle the Minicon Cullen has a lot of repair work to catch up on. So it's the three of us today.
Yay!
What did you guys think of the episode?
I thought it was kind of awesome. As a wrestling fan, I was like, this is amazing.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm not a big wrestling fan, but I just thought it was such, like, just tone-wise, it was just so much fun. And John DiMaggio was always really fun to listen to.
Yeah.
The references were really fun. Giant robot fighting. The fact that is like a common thing in Crown City, that's pretty amazing.
So it kind of made
It's like
sense.
BattleBots, but done large.
And also, I like that we had a female operator. That was pretty
about it.
freaking
Champ.
Casey was great.
I loved her.
For the 3.5 minutes that we had Casey,
Hey.
I liked her a lot.
But I mean, I guess if this is supposed to take place in the not too distant future, it makes perfect sense that giant robots, to an extent, would be a thing.
Right.
It also makes sense, again, now that we know that Crown City does this,
Right.
that people would take Grimlock and other giant robots in stride. It's like, oh, I guess they're doing a new model for BattleBots, or oh, someone's trying something out. Like, giant robots aren't too terribly far-fetched because we have big dinosaur-themed ones fighting each other every other
On
week.
TV, pretty much,
In the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
I
I know it's called the Rumble Dome, but let's be real. The guy had a white cowboy hat. It's the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
I loved it. So yeah, when I was watching this episode, I was like, okay, now this makes sense why people are not like freaking out at the fact that there's just giant robots everywhere.
So much more sense.
It's like, oh, they're just making another one for the robot riot.
For the Robot Riot, yep. I still like to think that we have our little fan club who's cottoned onto things and has figured it out.
Yeah.
But this does make a lot more sense from a world building perspective. I do feel almost like this episode was out of order, if only because of the ground bridge thing. Because last week we had a perfectly functional ground bridge, and this week it's like, well, we're having some trouble. Here's hoping.
I guess you can kind of look at last week's as like it was a fluke that it worked as well as it did.
Twice in a row.
Or you could assume that all of the water damage maybe messed it up
I
a
didn't
little
even
bit.
think about that.
Possibly.
All right. Okay.
I don't know.
Point being, it does kind of like, oh, they weren't having trouble before.
And we did need a device to get most of the team out of the way.
Yeah.
I do love that they randomly wound up in the Arctic. I'm like, I wonder if there's any scraplets out there.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, huh, we're in the snow. This is bad.
It's like, wow, after Optimus almost died there. Yeah, no, that was the thing.
That was scary. Yeah.
Was that almost AfterBuzz almost died there?
Yeah,
God
AfterBuzz
bless.
almost killed us.
AfterBuzz almost died.
What I really also appreciated about this, because I know we keep saying we want more references to Prime, I love that they took something from Prime without having to reference it directly. They took a world building aspect of Prime, built upon it in this episode, and made it its own thing.
Yeah. I will say, I was having cliff jumper flashbacks. You mess with the rig, you get the horns. And I'm like, oh, God. I know that you mess with the bull, you get the horns is a thing, but it's also like, that is ingrained in my head.
I also think she needs to work on her catchphrases, much like Bee, because she said it twice. I mean, you should probably come up with a few variations.
I figure she does it once per battle, and that's kind of the yippee-ki-yay of the match, that once she says it, you know it's going to be over.
By the way, what kind of hat was she wearing?
I was confused.
It was
I wanted
helmet,
to ask it.
and it looked like, if you've seen those little headbands that have the springy things, like they have clovers on them for St. Patrick's Day or hearts on them for... I think she took the springy things from Halloween because they had skulls on them and just glued them to her helmet.
Oh, that's adorable.
Which I approve.
No, she was
I can't say I'd wear it, but I approve.
I just wasn't quite sure what she was going for.
I thought it was part of her hair, and I was like, what's her hair doing? Like, I was a little confused. I thought she was doing, like, Spice Girl buns. Like, I was like, I'm so lost of what's happening with the top of her head. You know, like Scary Spice, where she had the weird cones.
Yeah, but wow.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. I was like, well, all right, she's edgy.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about our cons this week, because we had two, kind of, ish. We did have two, but only one was a really big...
Yeah.
Let's talk about Ground Pounder and Headlock.
That was crazy. I loved them.
Champ.
The champ.
And the fact that we got the cons before we got anything else, just straight up introduction and setting the scene, I liked that. And I like that we got the name right away instead of waiting until 15 minutes in the episode to be like, oh, that's what we call the shark.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's the one thing I did notice. I was like, oh my gosh, I know your name right away. Because usually the time I'm sitting there going, wait, have we said a name yet? I guess I'll just wait for my notes to catch up. Because in my notes, I'm just like, oh, we found a con. And then I was just like, what's your name?
And this is why we keep nicknaming Decepticons. Because we have to refer to them as something before Fixit does his I know the world computer thing.
I love that little I was like, oh man, who is it gonna be this time?
Can I just say how much I really loved this? Not necessarily as a con introduction, but just as a character introduction. Because we have a regular bot and then a mini con, and he's like, put me in, coach.
Yeah.
It's just the cutest thing.
And Headlock's a forklift. I love it.
I did not think about that. I was just kind of like, I don't know what you are, but you're awesome. That's the only thing I thought of. I didn't know that. That's really cool.
As something that we've seen with Fracture and his mini cons is that Decepticons and their mini cons tend to have really good relationships. Like, they're really solid.
Yeah.
Which is kind of says a lot because most of our Autobots really don't. Drift is working on the family dynamic.
Yes.
But for the most part, like, regular Autobots and minicons don't really have that great of relationships.
It
never noticed
sounds
that. That's
like
really cool.
Autobot society very much looks down on minicons in general as a species, class, race. I'm not quite sure what the what that breakdown, what the parallel is. There we go.
All right.
But Fixit's an anomaly in more ways than one.
I'm so proud of Fixit.
I love Fixit so much. Oh my gosh, he
hopped
was
into the ring there.
That, and he was
so
like a
that
giant
ending was
fanboy.
great.
That was a great ending. But I just love how he just fanboyed out, like in the
Oh,
beginning.
yeah.
I loved that. He knew every move.
It's like,
knew
you're
he
the
was a
fan of a
wrestling fan?
I
Decepticon,
can totally
dear.
see him
Or I
being
guess
as
a gladiator fan.
He was a gladiator, American
I
gladiator
do
fan.
like that they brought that back up, and I do like that they made the point of no, gladiatorial fighting was really super real. People died. Because if you remember your Prime, that's where Megatron came from. Yeah. Is the gladiatorial
I was
pit.
just like,
Such a
He
big
got
deal.
popular,
I was like, this
and
is awkward.
everyone
This is
loved
really
him,
awkward.
and then things went poorly. And had it not been for cheating, God help us, Ground Pounder could have... I don't think Ground Pounder could have been Megatron. He's not smart enough.
Nah.
But there could have been a little more moving and shaking had the cheating thing not happened.
Gladiatorial matches are so important that the champ in the gladiatorial ring literally went on to have a political career. that to me, like, he had so much popularity that he was actually able to sort of start shaping political influence. That to me is crazy.
Well, he was also very well-spoken and intelligent.
He was.
Even
That's
though he
also very
was
true.
built to be... I don't know if he was built to be a gladiator, but that sure is where he ended up. Ground Pounder, not so much.
No.
Although I do love John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio is
great.
great. And I love that after being in stasis for so long, these guys didn't start looking for trouble right away. They laid low, and he's like, you need to get back to training.
Yeah.
I honestly think
It was Rocky all over again for me. I was just like, Mickey's in the ring now. He's like, I gotta get back in the gym.
The only thing that could have made it better was a training montage.
Oh my god, yes.
I would have lost it if that was happening. Oh man.
Best around.
Oh yes.
Nothing's ever gonna
I wanted him to
get you
roll
down.
up some stairs. I would have died.
You wanted to roll up some stairs?
like the Philly stairs, like in Rocky.
The
where he runs up
iconic thing in Rocky is when he runs
running
up the stairs.
Yeah, but because he's a bot, I wanted him to roll.
Oh, okay.
Up some stairs. Sorry.
But you wanted to roll up the
I would
stairs,
like
and I
to
was getting
roll up
some really
some
weird
stairs.
mental images.
Like a segue.
Yeah. No, I was just imagining like rolling.
Oh. Okay, that went to a
The
dark
only
place.
problem is
Hurt.
that like, it would have to be a huge structure for him
It
to
would,
actually
yeah.
run upstairs, because otherwise he'd probably just crush the building.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted it to happen.
You know, if we had a car pyramid and he just, yeah.
like a junkyard would be great. I'm sorry. I was so off topic. I was just like,
That's okay. It's hilarious. I was honestly debating grabbing one of our wrestling hosts and being like, watch the episode, join us on the panel. Almost did that. For those of you who know him, Mark Donica.
Yeah.
He's a
Yes.
lovely human being, and
love
he
him
would have
so
been
much.
totally down for this, but I did not poke him in time. So we have Ground Pounder and Headlock, and oh my god, Ground Pounder just wants to hit things. I thought he was a Constructicon at first. So it's like, you're a backhoe. You're a Constructicon. No, he's just a con.
it's just a con.
And I love that they did the gorilla theme, and he did the whole beating his chest, roaring.
was
I like that they
awesome.
used the animal mannerisms.
I loved that. I was just sitting there going like, oh, he's not gonna like climb up a building and be like, oh, like, or anything. I'm glad he didn't do that.
I wouldn't have put it past him.
Right?
But yeah. So then we have Grimlock. Oh, Grimlock.
My baby.
After,
okay.
after we have last episode being, you
Yeah,
don't
that's so
have to be strong all the time, you can ask for help, we're back to, I am the strong one. Look
Where
at me,
he
I'm
almost
amazing.
killed Denny and
Didn't even notice. Yeah.
no idea. All he cared about was that he could carry two of them at the same time.
The imaginary crowd goes wild.
Can I just
so
say,
We love you, Grimlock. You're so handsome.
can I just say how much I
bless.
love hearing Kari like say that? It's just like, oh my god.
It's just in my head. I was like, I need a a text tone where it's just like, Grimlock, you're so handsome.
And I'm just sitting here going, was that in the script or did he improvise that?
I hope he
Because that
improvised
could
that.
have gone either way, and I would buy it.
I'd be totally fine with it. I've literally just been like having him here, and he's just like,
This is a really good episode to have him on.
yeah, I had to do it. I brought him in. I strapped him into a little seatbelt next to me in the passenger seat, and it was great.
That's
he sang show tunes.
adorable.
It was adorable.
Yeah, I have the little tiny one. And Fixit.
Because
This is
Fixit-
about how the sizes measure up, isn't it?
Here's a cup for
little
reference.
little less.
Hey man, even though he is a tiny bot, like, or I'm sorry, he's a, but the fact that he packed a punch this episode, and I'm
He
super
did.
happy.
And
Yeah.
just noticing that technique, that is the technique of someone who is accustomed to fighting opponents that are bigger than they are. You
Yeah.
use their weight and momentum against them.
yeah.
And I like that the fact that they, like, in order to win, they had to work together, because Grimlock, he's big and he's strong and no one's contesting that, but you can't just barrel into a fight without some semblance of strategy.
Yeah.
So we had a couple of things going with the Wheel of Morality thing here.
Wheel of
We
Morality,
did have
turn,
strength
turn.
isn't everything. You need to think your way through things. And we had cheating is bad, kids.
Oh, did you see those anime sparkles going on in poor Fixit's eyes when he saw him like do? Oh, I felt so
It
bad
has
for
to
him.
be a trick of human TV.
No.
Honey.
I did like that. Again, this is 2 weeks in a row where we get the lesson that just because you're strong, you can't just barrel through things.
Right.
Last week it
Yeah.
caused an injury, and this week it's like, nah, that's not going to win you the fight.
And it's two different flavors of the same lesson, because last week was also, you don't have to be strong all the time. You can ask for help. It's okay. And this one is, no, seriously, think. And if people offer you advice and they know what they're talking about, maybe you should listen to them. Because Fixit the fanboy.
Yeah.
So cute.
He knew everything.
You don't know who Ground Pounder is? The Beast of Kaon?
There's so many.
The Pounder of ground? It's just, and that is how fans act.
It's true.
It's like how do you not know this thing that's really important to me?
Don't you care about culture?
Yeah, I love that. I was like, oh, you uncultured swine. How dare you? I was like, all right, fix it. I'm sorry.
And what I find interesting is that Grimlock didn't know who he was. And Grimlock knew who Underbite was. Because, again, if we're working on the assumption, rather, that the Alchemor's been floating around out there for a good long while, then you would imagine that Grimlock would know people from about that time period, and that's why everyone needs to look everyone else up in the database.
He can only have one hero in that brain of his.
Well, and
Underbite's
especially
not his hero.
I know, but you know what I mean.
And especially because the Grimlock that we were introduced to was very big on fighting. You would think he would know the big fighting names on Cybertron at that time.
Yeah.
Who's fighting? I want to fight.
Yeah, maybe.
But I guess they probably kept him away from the pits because we saw the wanton destruction that happened today.
Yeah.
That was a little wild. So I guess I can see him not knowing depending on when he got locked up, but holy cow, someone ate an entire city is something that would go around.
Yeah, but more than the fact that, we have a champ, I guess. I don't know. That makes sense. You weigh the options there.
Grimlock doesn't care about culture.
No, he's an uncultured swine.
He just cares about, look what I can do.
I thought that was adorable and also very dangerous.
Yeah. I can lift them both, I just can't balance the... Okay, Grim, sit down before you hurt somebody.
Sit down before you hurt yourself.
Or someone else.
Oh, my word.
So, oh God. I'm still just laughing at Fixit the fanboy.
Yeah, no, that was one of the best parts of this episode.
Yeah.
And I love that came into very, very handy.
I was hoping that it would.
Congratulations, knowing nerdy things is going to help.
And I love that he was like, it couldn't have been real cheating. Like, it must have been a mistake, And I loved the discussion about wrestling here on Earth as well, because even Denny was like, wait a minute.
It's supposed to be fake, right? Like the one here on Earth?
What?
Well, and Russell going,
What?
well, and Russell going, it's staged, right? Because you don't want to believe that this giant robot family that you've kind of adopted into your own, that society is capable of straight up gladiator fights, which is something where we kind of look at ancient Rome and go, yeah, that was pretty barbaric. I mean, we've replaced it
messed up.
Yeah,
we've replaced it with football, which kills not as many people, but slower.
Yeah, I was like, it takes a while.
You look at it and go, okay, man versus tiger, that's pretty barbaric. So you don't want to look at these bots you've adopted and be like, you did gladiator stuff?
Are you not
and y'all were there to witness it? It's just one of those, the 12-year-old's like,
well, and it's his.
This just got
it's
real.
his frame of reference too.
Yeah.
The fact that like wrestling is fake, and it is really adorable that the child is more aware about the show aspect of things than his father.
Yeah, because I thought he was going to chime in, and I was just like, huh. Well, all right.
I do love we had a crack about. This to me was the line of the episode. I was just crying laughing the first time we watched it. Was with the ground bridge broken, they managed to bridge them out of the Arctic and to some place that's 350 miles away from Crown City, so they have to drive back. And Beach tells them, put Denny in charge, get Grimlock in the ring, hold it, hold the fort till we get there. Everyone's going, why is Denny in charge? Because he's the closest thing to a responsible adult that we have. And Trift, God bless him, Trift's reply is, then I respectfully suggest we make haste. I don't know when Drift became my favorite, but I think he's my favorite now.
That line was pretty perfect, and I was like, I need to rewind that and listen to it over and over, because it was literally just on point, and it was great.
Well, between this and the meditation thing and the I assumed you were doing your best last episode, it's just like the sheer amount of salt that he can fit into some very respectfully chosen words is just... Why are you my favorite now? When did that? It used to be the Dinobot, and now it's you.
Adding Eric and Roger to the regular cast was a wonderful decision.
Of genius. Absolute stroke of genius. I am so super happy that we got to keep them. Now all we need is Jazz.
Yes,
let's keep him too.
Please.
Can he come back?
I mean, we talked about
What's
him
he up
having
to these days?
We talked about him having an actual job to do. So 9 to 5.
Vacation, Jazz.
Just
go hang out. Go hang out on Earth.
Before we approve your leave, we need to know where you're going. Earth? Why? Oh, it's a great vacation spot. Have you seen the nightclubs they have? The music is amazing.
I like
just
the
be jamming.
It's culture.
part.
Things I will never get over. Darren Criss delivering that line.
Oh, so great.
Anyway,
So we've decided that Jazz needs a vacation and needs to come to Earth.
Boots and pants and boots and pants. Sorry.
But removing the rest of the team from most of the episode did give us some really good Grimlock and Fixit, because Fixit gets sidelined quite a bit.
Does.
So it's nice to have him actually in the fray and not in an I'm attached to a Decepticon and it's terrifying sort of fashion.
Yeah.
But actually in control, contributing when people will bother to listen to him.
Yeah.
And Denny and Russell back in action. Rubber duck, pig pen, danger
I was
magnet.
like, what is happening?
I love
Danger
that. The
magnet,
call sign
God
Danger
bless.
Magnet was already taken.
And it was taken by Fixit, who's wearing a trench coat and a fedora.
I love his disguise. I'm just like, what are you trying
Did you
to
notice he had a little wig too?
I was like, yeah, because we totally need to know that you have hair.
and with Headlock, with him, they weren't in disguise. I guess again, it's just a factor of the technology in this world that when he's talking to people, it's just like, oh, okay, cool. It's a remote controlled thing.
Coach.
You're going for a mystery aspect. I get it. That's
Yeah.
really cool. That's a cool angle.
I never know the driver. And I'm like, this sounds really dumb, but okay.
I do feel bad
The
for
mysterious
Casey.
Racer X.
Yeah, exactly.
I do feel bad for Casey getting thrown under the bus like that,
Yeah.
especially since it came right the heck out of nowhere. And yeah, the rig that she destroyed could probably have been rebuilt fairly easily, but hers was in pieces.
shambles. Yeah, no, it's definitely like
The game has changed with this guy showing
because
up.
they clearly put safety restrictions like, hey, you can only do this amount of damage
Yeah.
before we're calling the match.
And you can't attack the cockpit.
yeah, no, and I felt so bad for her because he's just throwing her mech around.
So ridiculous.
Oh no! Like just as a fan of giant robots, I really felt for her.
Yeah, and just thinking about it like in a long way of just like how much work she's put into it and it's blood, sweat, and tears that it just
And
like,
this
pretty much-
bot just crushed her dreams.
like all
She
of it.
and Denny are both very lucky that they survived.
I was so
Yeah.
afraid.
So it's like I really like Denny's over. It's like, let's never do that again. Like, can we please take him to a hospital between the G-forces and getting rattled around? And
Like,
he might have a concussion. He might have
The
brain
very least.
damage.
That's
He
the
might be
first thing I
bleeding
thought of.
internally.
All my
Can we
bones.
please?
yeah,
All my bones.
everything
They are
hurts.
paste.
They're paste.
They are paste.
They're no longer bones.
He's gonna turn us into dino paste. Oh, Denny. An attempt was made. Oh, man. But he just, I really wanted him and her both to just please go to the hospital or at least a clinic and be like,
Something.
here's the footage of what I went through.
Help me?
Can we make sure that I'm not slowly dying? I realize this is a kid's show, but
Yeah, I think I'm
the
internally
adults watching
bleeding.
this are just like,
Ow.
After all of the bots, after the crash of the Alchemor, I really have to wonder how insurance premiums in Crown City, how much they're increasing. That's
I'm
what I was
telling you,
thinking
at
of,
this point-
surely.
At this point, the entire city is insured by Lloyd's of London.
Okay.
Gotta be.
Giant
And for
robot
those-
bird, we got you covered.
For those
great
of you
deal
who
on that
don't
right
know,
now.
Lloyd's of London is an insurance company that basically covers all the ridiculous sucker bets. Like when a radio station's like, if you find a dollar bill with this particular serial number that we read off at this particular time and you call in, you can win $1 million. Well, the odds of that are astronomical, but Lloyd's of London insures stuff like that in case it actually happens. They're the ones that insure the sucker bets, the long odds, the ridiculous stuff. So, yeah, at this point, Crown City is just insured by Lloyd's of London.
They have to be at
'Cause
this
they're
point.
the only ones that'll take it.
Like the insurance policy of the plot of Volcano actually happening in Los Angeles.
Allstate basically just went, you're in someone
That's all I
else's
do.
hands.
Sorry, Crown City.
We are done.
Yeah, don't use our jingle. Don't even try. We will not come.
It's like the insurance company in Trigun following the humanoid
Yes.
typhoon around just to see how bad it gets.
Jeez.
That's I would love to see an insurance agent show up in Crown City.
I would love to see
Witnessing
one.
the aftermath but never finding the cause.
I would
Maybe right.
actually like to see the opposite of that and actually having them show up at the junkyard and going, you're being audited.
Why would the junkyard be audited?
know.
You don't
Because
know.
that's where the bots are.
Because scary adult things in a TV Y7 show. Is it Y7?
We didn't check on that actually
Cartoon
last time
violence?
we brought it up. I mean,
Kids.
You know, for kids. For the most part.
oh my word.
Anyway.
So yeah, let's talk about iTunes. Let's do that.
iTunes.
Yeah.
And for those of you who have heard this, you're going to hear it again. And for those of you who are new, we really want to thank you for tuning in. Seriously, we love hearing from you guys. We love it when you participate. We love it when you talk on the hashtag and when you leave reviews and when you comment and subscribe and all that stuff. Seriously, it absolutely makes our day. It also, when our bosses at the studio see it, they go, oh, people like to see this panel talk about giant robots. We should continue to have them talk about giant robots. Mm-hmm. And then if any of the agents for the guests look us up, any of that fun stuff, they can go, oh, look, fans are participating. People are reviewing. This is good publicity. Please go be on their show. So that is how we get wonderful guests whom you've seen in past weeks and whom we will hopefully have in upcoming weeks. And that is how we keep the lights on in the studio. So please find us on iTunes, like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, YouTube, SoundCloud, wherever you can find the AfterBuzz, let them know that you like what we're doing. And we do read iTunes reviews on air.
Yeah, every single one I've seen since May, I believe, has all been 5 stars.
Aw,
And I
we
love
love you
every
guys.
minute of it. I love it.
Have we got any new ones?
No, not this time
Not
around.
this time around.
But we have
Okay.
a comment on the hashtag from Jade. Again.
Hi, Jade.
Hi, Jade. Love Jade. Fixit has the coolest Decepticon Pokedex. LOL.
And this, I have to give a shout out to Cyclone Rachel on Tumblr, who wrote us a very long, glowing post about how people who watch Robots in Disguise should watch our show.
Aw.
And just, oh my god. The show is hosted by 4 awesome and smart Lady Transformers fans. How cool is that? You can tell said hosts are really invested in and enjoy the show, and it shows in their conversations about it. It is hilarious and should probably not be listened to in public because of risk of excessive laughter. Highest praise I could possibly receive. Don't listen in public, you'll laugh your tailpipe off.
Can we also do a shout out on Twitter to MegDogLA X32 and to Tiger Vision X, because they tweet us about Transformers all the time.
They do.
And they are just fantastic.
They are wonderful
Andrew's
human
awesome.
beings, and
Yeah.
seriously,
Yeah.
we absolutely love hearing from you guys. We read all the comments, we read all the tweets. We attempt to get back to as many as we possibly
We try.
can. It doesn't always work out because we're all ridiculously super busy. Yeah. But we do our best, and seriously, hearing from you guys makes our day. So
it
leave the
really
reviews.
does.
We love you. Let's talk about Dino Bash.
Dino Bash!
Talk about
no,
the fact that
I
we
thought it was a
called him
thing. I was like,
Dino
I
Bash.
want it.
Well, that's what they called Grimlock, wasn't it? Didn't they name him Dino Dash?
I don't know who called him
yeah.
that. Oh,
No, Denny.
Denny did call him
Denny,
that. You know
for-
what? You're
to
right.
pilot him, named him Dino Bash. And I love that he made himself a little cage and then rigged it on Grimlock.
Yeah, no,
He
make
rigged it in the worst possible place, the middle of his back, though.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like where they put that, but I mean, where else would you put it though? No?
It seems really precarious. It might have been better to, I don't know, maybe make
Show
a
'em.
kind of trap door in Grimlock's humanoid form and be like, hey, look at him in his humanoid form. It's just like the other one where you can't see the cockpit. I don't know.
I feel like even just making a
Oh, that's
trapdoor
rough.
in
Yeah.
the Dinobot form and just saying we have someone in there right now, we're doing a mystery
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
So you can do 2 mystery pilots against each other. Just
They
actually
might have called
putting-
it out, though. They
Yeah.
might have been like,
Yeah.
we already have that as a gimmick.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Yeah.
But actually putting Denny on top adds an element of danger, raises the stakes,
it did.
especially when Grimlock turns around and tells him to bail out, and he can't because the cage is damaged.
That
Yeah.
was really scary.
No, it definitely, like, but there's no good place. There
really
it's literally
isn't.
the only place to believably be put on there.
Yeah.
But you know what's not believable? Sound effects you make with your mouth.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
So ridiculous. Is he
He
gonna
won't be
make those
making
sound
noise,
effects?
will he? Nope. No.
That was rough.
No, he tried, but the owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome didn't really
Dimsdale
care. So.
Dimmadome.
And again, just as a game institution television show, I want this to be real.
it's BattleBots writ large. I love it. We have BattleBots back. Why not?
Yeah, just literally shut up and take my money.
They're just gonna really need to work on the safety precautions.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yes, I completely agree.
Again, makes me wonder which state Crown City is in, because I'm wondering about, safety laws.
What did we decide?
Nebraska. I don't know.
I heard Pennsylvania.
I heard Pennsylvania
was what they had
also.
in mind.
They did say that they based it on. Didn't they say they based it on Pittsburgh? Philadelphia?
I could totally see it being at the Steelers, like the whole. Pittsburgh is so pretty too. Sorry guys, I went there for the first time and I was like, I can totally see them running around in here. It'd be great.
So that would make sense then.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's spacious enough. It's completely spacious enough for them to be running around like that.
All right.
So
as far as we're concerned, it's in Philadelphia.
yeah, why not?
But it's.
Oh, we lost her.
That was fun. Technical difficulties, please stand by.
I do have to say that going back to kind of the dynamic between the champ and, or I guess ground pounder and headlock, I for a moment, because Fixit was so convinced that the cheating couldn't be a thing, and then when we see headlock go in and purposely sabotage Casey, which she actually might have stood a chance had that not happened.
True. She might have actually won. Yeah. Because she had him up against a wall, and he was like, exactly like that. Key smashing.
For a moment, like for a good solid moment, I thought it would have been really interesting if Ground Pounder was completely unaware of the cheating aspect, because I thought that would have made for, because they clearly have a good relationship, I thought that would have made for a really interesting dynamic if like all this time it's like, wait, you've been rigging matches for me? What? Like, because then he's not really the champ.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have almost been an Autobot champion with a Decepticon coach, though.
But I'm on the same boat. I definitely thought that's how it was going to go, because I had no idea.
Because just because someone's a Decepticon doesn't mean they can't be honorable. And so, like,
I saw her face.
Don't you dare start Prime. Don't you dare.
I'm just going to roll away.
Have we had that Skyquake?
Don't you dare start. But yeah, again, they can be honorable. So I thought it would have been really interesting. So for a while, I'm waiting for like the big reveal of like, you've been cheating this whole time, and then it turns out he's totally on board with it. I was a little disappointed. I was like, oh, that could have been interesting.
I thought it would have been really cool. I agree
feel
with
like the cheating wasn't his idea, but he's not going to say no.
Yeah, because he's winning.
Yeah.
He's
like, woo!
Hashtag winning. Sorry.
Hashtag winning.
But yeah, I feel
Win here, win there, win everywhere.
Exactly, and I liked that Fixit got to see it up close and personal, and there's no human TV magic messing with it. So
I loved Fixit versus Headlock.
So awesome.
That was hands down my favorite part of the episode, is Fixit just going straight into the fray and taking him out.
And then actually demonstrating how Grimlock is going to have to take him down.
And Grimlock doing the, I don't know what to do.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and Fixit coaching him from the sidelines. You need to think smart. He's going to do this. You need to try this. And Grim, you gotta learn to listen.
Because, we've seen him fight before when he was attached to Chop Shop. And it's great to actually see someone his own size that he can pick on.
Yes. That was my favorite part, was like, hey, you have somebody who's the same size as you. Kick his butt.
Get him!
Exactly. Thank you so much. That's the first thing I thought of, and I'm like, yes, Katie.
And every Gravity Falls fan in the audience is like,
Oh man, it was so good. Just eating
that made my
popcorn.
day. That made my day.
My notes just say, Fixit taking on Headlock. I'm so happy. Bless this tiny, ridiculous wrestling fan.
Yeah, so Fixit for the win.
Yes, Fixit for the win.
He practices in his spare time and imitates the punch and the takedown, and that just, God, you're so
I could
cute.
totally picture him with like a little boxing. What are those called?
punching
punch
bag?
bags.
Oh,
Punching bags.
Oh, I was thinking of a speed bag.
Punch
Yeah,
bag.
that too.
Yeah.
A punch bag. A
Punch bag.
Oh my word.
But yeah, I could totally see him doing that back in the junkyard.
Oh,
or
yeah.
even on the Alchemore when there's nothing else to do.
I could totally see him running around doing that.
Like
having
just
a name
watching
for himself.
reruns of like gladiatorial matches.
And narrating in the same way that Grimlock was narrating.
And the crowd goes wild.
Fixit, you're so handsome.
Fixit wins again! Gladiatorial champion!
Oh gosh. I love it.
And And again, I liked the throwback too when Grimlock did win. He went back to the end. The crowd goes wild, even though they dispersed a long time
nobody
ago.
there.
Yeah, this place is wrecked. Well, we had a fight and there was no human casualties. I call this a success. And I'm like, B, look around you.
I think I did okay.
I had a question for our Dimmadome owner with the white hat. He was in there when the tower was falling, but did he get out before
He
it
got
fell?
out before the tower fell.
My computer was buffering, so I was like, huh, did he just die? I was like, no, Prime, no. Don't come back and bite me in the butt. Like, I was really worried, and then I didn't have time to rewind, so I was like, well, I guess we had a death.
If they're going to kill a human, it's not going to be like that. If they're going to kill a human for realsies, it's not going to be like that.
That's why I was like, please, somebody clarify for me.
I don't expect that from the show just yet.
Yeah.
No.
Because Transformers as a whole very rarely kills humans. They're not above doing it. They've definitely done it before, especially if you get into the comics. But like not right now. Like the comics killed a kid one time.
I know, don't remind me.
Well, but we only really have 2 main character humans.
True.
It's like we only have 2 kittens. We can't kill them off.
No.
I mean, it's a father and son. You really
That makes it even worse.
can't.
Like, you can't do it.
You can put them in peril. You can have them be dorks. You can do whatever. But this level of show, you can't kill them.
No,
off.
I
Could you
completely agree.
take out a side character? Maybe. But there's no way to do that without changing the tone of the show irreversibly.
It would literally become that
Even
weird
that would
Disney
have to
movie.
be like Endgame type stuff.
Even introducing the concept of death in the show with the episode showing Optimus's training.
Yeah.
Even with the fake out at the end, we've introduced the concept that, we didn't know these people, but it's possible for people to die.
Right.
Killing a named character is one of those, there is no turning back now.
Oh, woof. Like, yeah. I just wanted to clarify because, like, my computer stopped buffering and I was just like, did we just have a death and we just didn't talk about that? We just, like, passed on by, like, that's fine. He's cool.
Nobody cares. No, his name was Farnham.
That's what I'm saying. I was just like,
And I didn't realize that till I was looking in the voice credits. It's like, okay. And Headlock was Eric Bauza, wasn't it?
I didn't get to
We were
look.
looking at that.
I missed it, I'm afraid. I was looking at John DiMaggio.
You're like, John DiMaggio. He's so handsome.
And the crowd goes wild.
Oh my goodness. I can't look at the chat right now because apparently
There's spoilers going on in the chat.
I
Shame
haven't-
on you guys.
It's Roz. Roz is the one who's doing some spoilers, so I haven't been able to look as
Roz.
of recently. So if you see me kind of like, look
away.
what's happening over here in this corner over here? Like, yeah, that's what I was doing.
For those of you who haven't been watching us from the beginning, so you know, none of us have watched ahead. We know that the internet at large has the episodes because China got them, I guess, a while ago,
Yeah.
and the internet will be the internet, as the internet does.
Yeah.
But we're sticking with the week-to-week release as they air on Cartoon Network. So aside from what we've seen at Comic-Con, we are unspoiled for upcoming events. So please,
I'd like to keep it that way.
do not leave spoilers in our comments. Do not put spoilers in the chat. That is unfair to people who are reading the chat and comments who want to be unspoiled. And guys, it's unfair to us. So we love you. Please don't spoil us because we love you.
Exactly, and we want, and again, we love the show. We would love to just go straight
And just
ahead and just marathon.
If I could
everything.
marathon this in 2 days flat, sign me up. 13 and 13, go.
Done.
But that's not going to happen
we're
until
not
it
gonna
comes
do
out on
that.
DVD.
I'm so excited for that, by the way.
It had better come out on DVD.
need it.
It's a shut up and take my money
And
sort
the
of
other thing
scenario.
I'll just
Like-
throw it at them.
As much as we love this stuff, you also want to support it to be
Yes.
to make sure that we can keep watching it. I would much rather wait and do everything the way you're supposed to, and then buy the DVDs and all that other
Yeah.
stuff.
I completely agree.
And get a season 3 or any
Whatever.
other thing that we can get, rather than just kind of pirate it and have it my instant gratification.
I can't do it.
It's not the way.
And
to
then
do it,
have the
guys.
series die.
Yeah.
Which I really don't want that to happen.
'Cause it's so
We would
good.
like the mythical season 2 to come into fruition.
Yes,
that
please.
would be great.
I want it. I
Because
want
I want
it.
to sit here and talk about giant
Want it, I want
robots
it
with you
now.
guys. It'd be wonderful. But we really need to support the show to do that. So, watch it legally. And if you're a toy collector sort of
She put it
person,
in
hey, you know
big
what to
bold
do.
letters. Sorry. Again, we love you guys. We would appreciate it, for everybody's sake and being, the fandom that we are, that we would like to keep spoilers out of the way.
In the same way that you support us so we can remain on the air, we need you to support the show so they can remain on the air so we can remain on the air. That's how it works.
Full freaking circle.
It's the circle of life.
I feel like help me, help you.
Exactly.
Help us, help them, help you.
Help us.
Holy moly.
So, do we have any final thoughts on this episode?
I need more Fixit battles. Sorry.
Tell me about it.
I was like, I need it now.
Well, you realize the next day. Can we swing into predictions? Let's swing into predictions. Give us your last thought while we get the Laser Light show.
No, I mean, that's pretty much the one thing for my last thought is that I really want... obviously, we've been talking about that. Just fix it in general. I just want more Fixit. Just all the time.
I think this is going to be good build-up because I think coming up we have, just based on what the writers and everything are saying, I think we have Fixit's backstory coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe even next week. I don't know. I want it soon. But so I think this is good build-up for the rug getting pulled out from under us.
Yeah.
It's giving Fixit a victory before they knock us down a peg.
I'm not.
And we had last episode where we had the little army of Fixits, and they were... I hesitate to say hostile, but they were very drone-like.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that was scary.
There
was scary.
didn't seem to be any sign of individuality in any of them. It was unsettling.
I will say final thoughts on this episode. I love that the cannonball is Grimlock's finishing move and that it stayed. That makes me super happy. I did have to do some preliminary research for next week for different purposes.
Okay.
It's totally a Fixit episode, you guys. You just have to look at the title is like something's wrong with Fixit or something like that.
Yes, I do remember that. Mm-hmm.
So you look at that title and go, oh, this is...
I'm excited.
So between what we've seen on the undersea ship and what we've seen he's capable of now, and knowing that there is something wrong with him and that he has... stitches, glitches,
Yeah, no, I really want to know what happened. I mean, I don't know if it happened in the crash or anything like that, but I want to see from that point to now and see how Fixit does or what's wrong with him.
I think he grew a personality, and that's why they threw him on the Alchemore.
I think so too. It's okay, but yeah, I'm on that boat.
That's some way to phrase it, but I think he grew a personality, and they decided he was broken because of it.
Yeah, or they just found him super annoying. They're like, we'll put him on the Alchemore.
Get him out of here. He keeps talking about the gladiatorial. I can't listen to it.
Fanboy.
We don't care. We don't care. I have to wonder if that was all he had was gladiatorial reruns on the ship, and that's why he became a fan.
I'm assuming.
And studied the tape, and that's why he knows everything.
Yes.
I just made myself sad. All he had was wrestling reruns, so he became a wrestling fan.
You made me sad. Anyway,
I made everyone sad.
To talk about.
I have a thing, you guys. So we went to Comic-Con a couple weeks ago, and I completely forgot to bring this last week, but we're here now. And we went to the signing for Robots in Disguise. So we have most of the cast, and Jeff Kline, and Adam Beechin, and, all sorts of fun people. What rules do we want for this giveaway? Because we did the follow us and leave an iTunes review, so we've already done that. I feel like we should make them be creative.
Ooh. Maybe. I liked, we had a question last week, what other types of animals we would like to see. Maybe in addition to leaving a comment, say what type of Decepticon you would like to see.
Sure.
I don't know.
Points for naming it, telling us what vehicle it would be. I mean, the more creative you are, the more we'd love to see this.
Yeah.
So, yes, if you would like to win this lovely ticket from Comic-Con signed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 6 on that.
That's what I'm counting.
So we're asking them to create an OC.
And Will Friedle's, which is Will Friedle signed it in gold on Bumblebee.
I was like, is that his signature? I can barely see it.
It's hidden, but you can find it.
Yeah.
So create an OC.
Follow us all on Twitter, including Emma, and we'll do our Twitter handles again at the sign-off. Follow us all on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes, and in your iTunes comment, leave your Twitter handle and what you would like for a new Decepticon to be. We want, if you just want to say, I'd like an elk, I mean, you can do that, but this isn't going to be randomized. We are judging on creativity.
We're judging on creativity.
So, name it. Tell us the color scheme. Tell us the vehicle
Bonus
mode.
points for fan art.
Bonus points for fan art.
Yes. Bonus points. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Everybody's like going crazy in the chat right now.
But yeah, seriously, guys, go all out. And we will pick a winner before next week. We will announce it next week, and we will send you this lovely card autographed with all of the people. Constance even put a little heart next to hers. Love Constance.
Keep in mind that it takes iTunes a couple days for comments to go up.
So you want to get this in by like Wednesday.
Yes, please.
So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Alexis, where can the people find you?
You can find me all over social media as atorres890. You can also find Emma 5 at Emma 5.
Thank you.
Anywhere Emma 5s are sold.
Exactly.
And I'm Megan. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. Also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz. And I just did 2 movie quick reviews, so check those out on the Popcorn Talk.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at Kiaxet. That's KIAXET. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. I am also writing for The Movie Chick, TheMovieChick. That extra K is super important.
Ks.
2 Ks. And I am on the Red vs. Blue after show here at AfterBuzz, which we will have next week. Thank you so much for watching this week, you guys. We had a blast. And as always, transform and roll out!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
It's on like Cybertron!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.